Can you share with us your evaluation, your perspective on run blocking so far through the first 3 games?
Well, obviously, we're not where we need to be. We're not where we want to be. So we got to do a better job as coaches, creating scheme advantages for our guys. And obviously, with the injuries we've had and some of the moving pieces, hopefully we can settle in and get some guys healthy and get some continuity up front. And then, we got to get it going.
And what does a guy like Trevor Penning, for instance, add to that run blocking scheme?
Well, obviously, the guy's played in a lot of games, and this physicality inside we're really excited about. And just to get him back in there, when he's ready, we'll be good.
Are you encouraged by what the running backs have been able to do after contact in particular, and kind of what stands out to you in that?
Well, like I said, I think if you look at the whole body of work, we got a lot of work to do everywhere. So obviously, we need to show improvement each and every week, and that's going to be the biggest focus this week. We got to be better than we were last week, obviously.
How do you evaluate Spencer Rattler so far? He's been in a lot of compromised situations.
Yeah, I think Spencer's done a good job. Obviously, we are what we are right now, and we got to do a better job, like I said, of coaching. But the way he prepares every week, his process is right. He's done some good things. Obviously, there's some things that we can do better, too.
Alvin seems to be off to a strong start to the season with game flow being what it is. Just what stood out to you about his ability to run the football?
Well, I think that's something that's been proven over time, and so obviously, like I said last week, the biggest thing is anytime we can get him touches and get him in space, that's a positive for us.
You guys haven't really used him in the screen game at all? Is that a philosophy behind that? You guys just prefer some of the wide receivers on the screens, or?
Well, to be honest, we haven't thrown that many screens total when you look at the number that we've thrown. So I wouldn't say that there's been an emphasis to throw wide receiver screens versus tight end screens versus running back screens. It's something that we look for ways to implement each and every week, and obviously it's a different way to get guys touches, from different spots, especially when we talk about the running back. So obviously we're always looking at ways to do that.
Position push, run it twice, 2 penalties. Is that frustrating? Is that like a communication thing? Like how do you solve that?
Well, obviously, the pre-snap penalties that we've had in the first game and in the third game have been something that we need to address. Obviously, it starts with us as coaches, and then the players got to take it to the field because you can't have those kind of procedural errors in games and expect to win in this league. So that's something that we've got to get cleaned up as it pertains to the tush push. Obviously, get the false start on the one, and they called us offsides on the other. So it is what it is.
Yeah, the first one was he was just lined up too far forward.
You'll have to ask them the explanation for that.
It's been a 3 games emphasize the penalty issues of some players and offensive end. What consistency have there been to lead to the penalties?
Well, obviously, it's the pre-snap procedural errors that are the ones. You're going to have penalties in games. You're going to get called for holding. That happens. That's football. But the things that we control, we've got to do a better job of controlling them. Like I said, we got to coach better. I got to do a better job. All of our coaches have to do a better job, and the players got to take it to the field. We got to be disciplined enough to stay on sides and know the snap count and get off together on the count.
What do you think Spencer talked about after the game was the scramble part of the play and working on that? Like how do you coach that with players in terms of mirroring and that sort of thing?
Well, it's we drill it. We started back in the OTAs and drilling scramble drills and rules, and we do have a plan. Obviously, it becomes organized chaos, so to say, when it does occur. But we do have a map, so to say, and we teach the map of how we want it to work out and how the field should look once we get into and initiate a scramble phase. And we spend a lot of time working on it. So we've gone back, worked on it. Obviously, it's something that when you look in this league, especially when you look in the red zone and you look at the amount of touchdown passes that are thrown off schedule down there, it's something that's a big key to success.
Is Juwan Johnson a guy that y'all have been intentionally focused on getting the ball to, or is he just kind of finding ways to make himself available? Like what stands out to you about what he's been able to do?
Well, obviously, we want to get the ball to Juwan. That's what he does well. He's, has great ability with size and speed and athleticism to catch the football. And like you say, I think in our system we do a good job of trying to, one, create ways to get guys the ball. Number two, there's ways that guys get the ball when they're not necessarily the primary or it's not where it's intended to go.